Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the Marvel Disney Plus TV show Secret Invasion. I was not sure if I was going to make any content about the show, if I was going to try to make like weekly reaction videos of it, because it's 6 weeks. There's going to be an episode every week for the next 6 weeks or something like that. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to make videos about it because honestly, the big thing with some Marvel Disney Plus TV shows is there are some episodes that will come out where there's not really a lot to talk about. It's not a lot of interesting things happening. It's basically just like a little bit of exposition or whatever. And there's not really a lot to say about every single episode that comes out. So I was kind of hesitant on making a little series where I talk about everything that's going on with Secret Invasion. But a little bit of time has gone by. I've had a couple thoughts about the show. I've had a couple like theories about the show. And so I have a little bit more to talk about. So I think I'm going to do this every week. I'm going to make a little video where I talk about Secret Invasion and everything that happened in the last episode. It's not going to be right when the episode comes out though, because like last week I watched the episode and I didn't really have much to say about it. Like it was cool, it was interesting. There was a lot of stuff that happened in it that I was like, that's kind of cool. But at the end of the day, I'm like, well, it's just a TV show. The opening episode, you never really get a shit ton of information. So I wasn't like gonna make a whole video about it. But now that time's passed, I've rewatched it. I've seen a couple things about it. I've heard a couple people discussing certain things about it. So I have more intel, and I'd be able to give more intel. So I'm going to make these videos every week. I just want to go ahead and say that it's not going to be like the Wednesday, the day that it comes out. I'm not going to immediately drop a video talking about it. I'm probably going to do Secret Invasion Saturdays or something like that and start making these videos every Saturday where I talk about everything that happened this week in Secret Invasion news. But today I just wanted to go through and talk about some of the stuff that happened in the first episode. So spoiler alert, if you guys have not watched Secret Invasion, if you guys are waiting for it to come out all at once to binge it or anything like that, go ahead and stop this video now. You guys can come back and watch it later if you want to. But I am going to be spoiling it. So if you guys don't want it spoiled for you, you've been warned, okay? Okay. So right off the bat, there's a couple things that happened in this episode that I'm very I don't feel anything about it. I'm not like, oh my god, yay, this is the thing that happened, or oh my god, ew, why would Marvel do that? I'm very indifferent, right? So something about this that I'm specifically talking about is the ending, obviously, with Maria Hill dying. Now, here's the thing. When it happened, I was kind of like, oh shit. But I wasn't like, oh my god, how dare they kill her off, or oh my god, shocked that Marvel did it. Because, in my opinion, I thought that was something that was kind of obviously going to happen. I didn't make any who's gonna die in Secret Invasion videos before this, but I should have, because I knew Maria Hill was going to die, and it would have been cool to know that, after the first episode I was already right. But my big thing is, in some promotional features, she's been in it, and we've seen her a couple times, but we've seen her in the exact same outfit in every single time, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, because it's a TV show, whatever. Sometimes they just have the same character wear the same outfit, but she seemed to have been in basically the same two settings every time we've seen her, and she appeared to be wearing the same outfit in every clip that we've seen her, and she wasn't in the promotional stuff for very, very long. And then another thing is, in the promotional stuff, like all the promos for the show, all the trailers for the show, even like teaser trailers for the show, it's just been Nick Fury. Like, it's been painted in a light that he's on his own here. He can't trust anybody. He's by himself. So the fact that Maria Hill died in this first episode kind of made perfect sense to me, that she wasn't going to be sticking around for very long, because literally been painted in a light that, hey, Nick Fury's going to have to be on his own in this show. And how is he going to be on his own if he has his right-hand man with him? But apparently everybody's kind of shocked that Marvel did that, and everybody's mad because they wanted to see Colby Smulders get to play that role a little bit more, but everybody's like, oh my god, how dare you, you killed off the character. And I guess a lot of people are so mad because it's a powerful female character and she's dead or whatever. But I'm like, it kind of made sense that she was going to die, and I thought that it was pretty obvious that she wasn't going to be in the show for very long. So, like, even if it didn't necessarily mean she died, I figured she was only going to be in the first couple of episodes to give us our little bit of exploratory dump, because, Nick Fury's been off planet. He needs to know what's going on, right? So that's that, right? Another thing that I want to talk about is Ross being revealed to be a Skrull. Something that I absolutely hate about that, actually. So, for the most part, I'm indifferent about all of these things. But something that I don't like about that specifically is the fact that they haven't addressed whether or not they haven't addressed whether or not Ross has been a Skrull the whole time, or if he just became a Skrull. Because it appeared to me that, like, they've worked with Everett Ross before, and now all of a sudden Everett Ross is going off the deep end. So, to me, it kind of seems like Everett Ross hasn't been a Skrull the whole time, and the Everett Ross that we have that we know and love and that we've seen in the Black Panther movies, it appears as though he has been missing in action. He hasn't actually been in this show at all. And I don't like the fact that they haven't like deliberately like said that, because a lot of people on the internet are just like, "Whoa, we were right. Everett Ross was a Skrull," but I'm like, I don't think he was though. I think he just became a Skrull, like literally leading up to this little conversation that he's having with Agent Prescott. Another thing that bothers me about the show, Agent Prescott's death. I feel like sometimes when you kill off a character who you're just now introducing, it's kind of like it raises stakes, yes, but at the same time, it doesn't really do much for us. It just shows, okay, this guy is dead now, and like he did a great job setting the scene that this was going to be a very like paranoia filled show. But I feel like his death came a little too soon. But that being said, we don't know anything about the character, so it's I guess it's a good thing that they just quickly introduced a character and killed them off. But to me, I always hate that when you're introducing a character, they give pretty much just a bunch of exposition, and then they immediately are killed off. It just kind of felt like weird in me. Like it kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth. But for the most part, I think it worked. Like it was okay. I like the character. I like the exposition. I like the little paranoia and the little newspaper wall with all the strings and stuff connecting all the dots. It's cool, right? Like I liked it. That definitely helped match the vibes of a spy espionage thriller, and I really liked that. Another thing that I did really like about this episode, Ben Nicholson, Ben, however you pronounce his last name. There's it starts with an M, so I definitely think it's probably closer to the second one. But he was great in this. Absolutely loved him. I think he did great. Talos, in my opinion, was one of my favorite characters from the Captain Marvel movie. I think that he really like shined bright. And I low-key think that they were planning on killing him off in that movie, and then they really liked his chemistry with Nick Fury, and that's why they kept him alive. Because if you rewatch Captain Marvel, and I'm going on a little tangent right here, but I don't care. If you rewatch Captain Marvel and you watch the scene where he gets shot towards the end of the movie, it like awkwardly like cuts to him being safe and being on the ship with the rest of them. But it seems like that was going to be something more than it actually was. And I'm willing to bet that they were originally going to kill him off in that moment, and that's why it was like such a huge, oh my god, no, he got shot thing. And then later when he ended up being fine, it was because they had to do reshoots, because they were like, okay, we actually really like this actor, we think that this performance is great, we're gonna keep him as the Skrull or whatever. I can be wrong about that. I don't know, but that's just my prediction, because it very much seems like that if you watch that movie, like it seems like something major was supposed to happen right there, and then it awkwardly cuts. I don't know. But yeah, I think that his performance in this was great. So far, his relationship with Nick Fury has been fantastic. I'm really loving it. Nick Fury really does seem to be a little like distraught and like all over the place, but at the same time, he definitely still seems like he knows what he's doing. He's walking with a limp and stuff like that. He definitely seems to be more like concerned and emotionally like attached. Like he's never seemed like he's been super emotional. He seemed very like stone cold, but now he kind of seems like very emotional, which I think is cool. I think it's a great thing. They're definitely showing that he's older, and I think that they're kind of like trying to like make it super obvious that he is a underdog, and I think that for the most part it is working pretty well. I did like the scene where Samuel L. Jackson was waving around a gun telling the guy that he's gonna shoot him, because that to me felt so much like Pulp Fiction. And me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Pulp Fiction, but all of the parts of Pulp Fiction where Samuel L. Jackson is in it are the best parts of that movie, in my opinion. So that was nice. I liked that vibe and energy that I was getting from those scenes. And the little Skrull town where you see them and they're like, all the Skrulls are like their little refugees. I like the tone that that area has, and I like the kind of setting of it. It seems very cool. And yeah, so overall, I think that that's pretty cool. But now to talk about the one little weird theory that I have. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I mostly just want to put this on the internet because if it ends up happening and it comes true, I get to admit, I get to tell everybody that I was right. So, what I am suspecting, and I could be totally incorrect here, but I have absolutely no idea. Nick Fury, early in the episode or whatever, is having a conversation with Talos, and they're talking about different things, and something about Talos being ugly or something like that. And Talos goes like, I'm very attractive for my species or whatever. And Nick goes, I've seen some attractive Skrulls, and you aren't one of them. And I know that that was probably just a random throwaway line, right? And it probably still will be. But I like to think that that kind of like opens the door that maybe Nick Fury has had a more intimate relationship with a Skrull potentially. And, you know, the Skrulls were down here in the 1990s, something like that. It's been about 30 years. So if he was to have a relationship with a Skrull, and it was probably, you know, about 20-something years ago, or 30-something years ago, there is total means to believe that he potentially could have had a kid with a Skrull, and that kid would have had Skrull powers, and could potentially, grown up to hate his father. Yep, my rogue theory that I have here, I think that the personal connection between the main villain and Nick Fury is going to be revealed that he's his father. And now, would that work? Maybe. I think it would be pretty damn cool, actually, if that was to be what happened. But Kravitz is the name of the evil Skrull guy. He appears to be a young Skrull. He appears to be, like, obviously his human version is not something to go off of, but, like, they've made it out to seem like he's probably in his, like, 20s or something like that. And I think that it would be really interesting if they reveal that the personal connection that he has with Nick Fury is more than just like oh, he was my mentor, or oh, he was somebody who said he was going to find us a home, but it was genuinely somebody who, was his father and wasn't there for him or something like that. Like, say he had that kid or whatever with the Skrull, and the Skrull had to be out in hiding, but he was perfectly fine because he's human, and he doesn't have to worry about going into hiding and stuff like that. So Kravitz grew up thinking, oh my god, my dad is an absolute monster. He gets to go live in this real world where we're stuck being in, captivation and being hidden because we're not accepted, but he is accepted. And it would totally stand to reason why he would have a giant hatred for Nick Fury if that was the case. Now, obviously, do I think that's going to happen? Maybe. I really want it to happen. I think it'd be really interesting. And I think that to a lot of Marvel fans, that would be a really shocking thing. To me, I would think that it would be cool and that it would make sense. But I do think that if that was something that was to happen, everybody on social media would be, like, in shock. They'd be like, oh my god, no way Marvel did this. And I think that that's the kind of, like, weird twists that we're supposed to be expecting in this movie. So, I mean, in the show. So, yeah. But anyways, that's my week 1, the first episode of Secret Invasion, little recap and little talk about it. Like I said, I'm going to start doing these on Saturdays. So, what's it called? This upcoming Saturday, you can expect the one for episode 2. Episode 2 drops tomorrow. But yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Pow.